Hi everybody, welcome to Frannie's Square. Today we're going to be making this beautiful, quick and easy scarf. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. This scarf is so quick and easy. It's great for the fall. It's nice and light. The only stitches you'll need to know are the chain stitch and the double crochet. And I like to call this a mindless whip. And if you haven't seen me talk about mindless whips before, what that is a work in progress where I don't have to sit and count and think about it. Basically, once I get it started, the row before will tell me what I need to do. So I can just look down at it and say, oh, this is what I need to do here. And I don't have to sit and count. So this is a great project. You can finish it up in the morning and have a beautiful scarf to wear that night. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to show you what you need for this project and then I'll show you how to make it. Oh, and by the way, if you're following my wig journey, this is Clarissa by Tressallure, and I will be doing a review on her. All right, now let's get started. Okay, so for this project, I used one skein of each of these colors of Drops Baby Merino Mix. It says it's a superwash treated extra fine merino wool. And I wanted to go with a wool because it is getting a little bit cooler, but you can use anything you like. You could use a cotton if you want it to be lighter. This is, Drops does their yarns by group, and this is group A, which is considered a lightweight. They say a sock or a fingering, something like that, sport weight. And you can see here, let me just show you, that it is on the lighter side. These are 50-gram skeins, and they have 191 yards in each skein. And honestly, I only used probably, I'd say, half a skein. Here's what I had left of each of the colors, except for the dark gray, because I did put fringes on. So I used the first skein up of the gray, of the dark gray. But other than that, I had about a half a skein of each left. So I used these 4 colors, and I will list in the description what these skeins are exactly, the colors and the name brand and where you can get it. I used a 4.5 millimeter hook. I do tend to crochet loosely. I don't think the gauge matters much for a scarf, but you know, you can adjust accordingly, and you can see this is a nice light stitch. It's really pretty. Then I used a pair of scissors and a yarn needle, and that's it. So let's get started. So we're going to start by making our slip knot and chaining 42. Okay. And I don't chain too tightly. Make it easier to get into the chains to do what we need to do. Okay, so once you've chained your 42, you are going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to put a single crochet there. Okay, and then chain 1. Then in the 5th chain from that chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to do 3 double crochets. This is where we're creating our first fan. 1, 2, 3, then chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets in that same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. and you're going to chain 1, and in the 5th chain from this chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to put a single crochet again. If I can get my fingers to work. And then chain 1. Okay, so now we're just going to repeat this pattern to the end. In the 5th chain from this chain, I'm going to do that fan pattern again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and honestly, the first row is always the most difficult because you're working with this little chain. Once you have more fabric behind you, it really starts to move. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into that chain. And this is a simple 2-row repeat. And like I said, it's a mindless whip. Once you see how it goes, you won't even have to count. Now we're going to chain 1, and the 5th chain from that one, you're going to put a single crochet, you're going to chain 1, go to the 5th chain from that one, do your fan, and do that to the end, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so we're getting to the end of the row here. I just chained 1 after doing my fan. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the last stitch, I'm going to put a single crochet. Just like that. Okay, now to start row 2, I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work. Okay, so we're going to do a half a fan in the end here. So we're just going to do 3 double crochets. We're not counting those 3 chains when we turned as a double crochet. And a chain. Now, wherever we have a fan, in that chain 2 space, we're going to put a single crochet. Then we're going to chain 1. And wherever we have a single crochet, we're going to put a fan. So you can see already how the row before is informing me of what I need to do. Wherever there's a peak, I'm going to just do a single crochet. Wherever there's a valley, I'm going to do a fan. And that way I'm going to have the fans nestled inside of each other, as you can see here. So it creates a really pretty look. Okay, so back to our single crochet here. We're going to do our normal fan, which is 3 double crochets. Two chains and 3 more double crochets. And then I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to a peak. So in that chain 2 space, I'm going to do a single crochet and a chain 1. And I'm going to head over to my single crochet that I did down here and do another fan. And that is basically what you're going to do all the way across. Just keep repeating this pattern. You can see how easy it is. 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. So keep doing that pattern, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so I just put a single crochet in the top of this last fan and did a chain 1, Now I'm going to go to the very end where I have a single crochet, and because in the beginning I did 3 chains and then 3 double crochets, that's the equivalent of 4 double crochets, and that's what I'm going to do at the end here in this single crochet is 4 double crochets. Let's see if I can get that stitch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and now this is a half a shell, so this is a peak. I'm going to put a single crochet into that next stitch right there, chain 1, and then down here is my valley. I have a single crochet that I had put in this chain 2 space. So in that single crochet, I'm going to do another fan. So that's 3 double crochets. Two chains and 3 double crochets. Okay, and we're going to continue on. So now I'm at a peak. I'm going to chain 1 and put a single crochet in that peak. Chain 1. Now we're heading down to this single crochet that we'd put on our fan on the row below, and we're going to do another fan. So basically this is a 2-row repeat. This is your first row. Which is starting with a single crochet and ending with a single crochet. And then your second row will be starting with the 3 chains and 3 double crochets and ending with 4 double crochets. But all along, you're just doing the same thing. Putting your single crochets in the peaks and your fans in the valleys. Okay, and in between you chain 1. Okay, so now here we go at a peak, single crochet, chain 1. There's a chain 1 in between everything. Now I'm going down to this single crochet here that was on top of this fan and making another fan. And you're just going to continue that to the end, and in your last stitch you're going to do a single crochet, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I just finished with the fan and the chain, and that was in a valley, and now I have half of a fan left at the end. That's where I did my 3 double crochets, and I'm just going to put a single crochet in the very end there, like that. Okay, now I'm going to chain 3. This is for the row 2 of the repeat. Okay, and I'm going to create a half a fan. So I'm going to do 3 double crochets right in that first stitch. 2, 3. Okay, so that's a half a fan. I'm going to chain 1. I go over to this fan and I'm going to do a single crochet in the chain 2 space. Chain 1. Then I'm going to go down to this single crochet that was on this fan in the row below and make a fan, 3 double crochets. You see how this pattern is so easy. 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets, and I'm going to chain 1, and put my single crochet. So I'm going to do that all the way to the end, chain 1, finish out my pattern, and that is your 2-row repeat. Your first row will have a single crochet in the beginning and a single crochet at the end. Your second row will have 3 chains when you turn, and then 3 more double crochets in the beginning and 4 double crochets at the end. And in the middle, you're just going to be doing the fans in the valleys and the single crochets in the peak with chain stitches in between. Now what I did was I wanted stripes, so when I got to the end of row 10, I changed color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my little sample piece here how I change color. And every 10 rows I just changed color, and my pattern was to go dark gray, light gray, tan, then the cream, and then just start over. And I did that 3 times, and that was long enough for me for the scarf. And then I added fringe. So I'll show you how I'm changing color, and then I'll show you how I do the fringe as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I change color. So we'll pretend this is row 10, and it's row 2 of the repeat, so it's the same thing that I'd be doing for row 10. I just put my single crochet, chain 1 in the top of this fan, so I'm going to go to the end, my single crochet at the end, and I'm going to do 4 double crochets. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3, 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one I'm going to start it. So I'm going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then instead of continuing it, I'm going to take my next color, which would be my light gray, and I'm just going to kind of hang it over my finger like this and put it on my hook and pull it through to finish that double crochet, pulling through the other 2. Okay, then I'm just going to lay my tails down, and I'll weave in the ends later. I know my next row, which is the first row, I'm going to do a single crochet, I'm going to turn, I'm going to do a chain, turn, and then I'm going to do a single crochet into that first stitch. There we go. Then I'm going to chain 1 and continue on my way. So in this single crochet at the top of this fan, I'm going to do my 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets, and chain 1. Then at the next top of the fan I will single crochet into the fan and chain 1, and you can see how my fan fits in beautifully there, and I just continue on my way. And that's what you do however many rows you want of that color. I would always end on the row 2 of the repeat and then switch your colors. So continue to do that, make your entire scarf, and next I'm going to show you how I did the fringes. So next, once you finished your scarf, I added some fringe, and you can make your fringe longer, shorter, thicker, whatever you want. I'll show you what I did here, and then you can decide to make it your own any way that you would like to. So we'll pretend that this is a finished scarf, and what I did was I cut lengths of the charcoal yarn, and I used it at both ends. The other end of my scarf is the cream color, and you could also, instead of ending with the cream, you could work to the middle and then work the colors out to the end to match the other end. Totally up to you. I just did 3 repeats of the same pattern. But anyway, I used the charcoal on both ends and I thought it looked nice. So I made 16-inch lengths. And the way that I came up with that number is I literally took a book that I had and I wrapped the yarn around and around and around, and then snipped on both ends so that I had a bunch of yarn, which it was just much faster to do it that way. So I took 5 lengths, put it together, and I folded in half like this. Then I picked the spots where I want to put the tassels. I chose 9 across, so I did 1 in the end, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But you could do whatever you like. So let's just say I'm going to put a tassel right here. I put my hook in, and I put the yarn on it, pull it through the hole, and then I wrap all of the pieces and just pull them through like that. Then once I have all the tassels on, I trim them, because you see the ends aren't exactly even. So I do like a haircut. I lay them all out like this, all the different tassels, and then I would just take my scissors, let's brush it out a little, and say I want it this long. Then I just go straight across like that and cut them off. And that's it. And then once you're finished, you have your scarf with the tassels. Okay, so I hope you found that tutorial helpful. If you have any questions at all, please list them in the comments below or send an email to my email address at franniesquare@gmail.com. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. If you're making this scarf, I would love to see your finished result, how you made it your own, or if you even just followed what I did. Send pictures again to my email address for Crochet and Tell. I love seeing everybody's projects. Going forward, stay tuned for a review on this wig, Clarissa by Tressallure. And also I have a quick and easy trivet/pot holder tutorial coming up as well. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Remember to make it your own, and I'll see you soon.